start off, give me your your full name and what's your role at Arco Murray.
My name is Jack Thorne. I am 24, so I've had 2.5 projects now at Arco Murray. I'm on the Top Golf account, and I'm a project manager on our side, just basically running new construction builds.
How did you first learn about drones? What was your first experience with drones?
Honestly, my brother was super interested in drones back when I was in high school. My dad then got one for his home inspecting business, so I knew about it. I think it dropped off the world when I went to college. There wasn't really a need for drones. I didn't really think about it ever. Yeah. But then right when I got to Arco, I was told within a week to call Drone Bros and to start getting pictures of our site, and then to see the pictures come out, and then as well the full map. It was just like boom, right when I hit the space professionally, I was like, this is a great tool, and this is something that we should use for it was at the time just pictures, but now I know it's so much more.
It all probably started happening about 2 years ago, because that's when you started. It was only photos, and now all of a sudden we want photos, we want videos, we want mapping, we want stockpiles. Now all of a sudden it's becoming, people are using drones for what they're meant to be, for data, for analytics, for really helping things out. Have you seen the same kind of trend in your 2 years of doing this, they're being used so much more?
Yeah. A few of them I know. When we originally started doing these, we would just get our pictures back. And then probably a year and a half ago, I started seeing the map done more. And the map was a huge leap, at least for us, because we can use it as a tool for site phasing, progress updates with the entire project, and putting that map over the real area of the site, and then putting in the pictures from where they were taken on that map 200 feet up, and then also putting the panoramas in there and all of that. That whole development was huge. I think it's, for me, when I do a pre-construction meeting, I pull that map up every single time, the most current up-to-date one, and I can then go into doing anything from that point. Pictures, panorama, whatever it is. So once that happened, I was a huge fan of it. I think that's when it took its first huge leap for us, when all those things started getting associated together. And then I realized probably a month or two ago about how it isn't just a picture service. It isn't just like a map service. It's you guys have your own site fill quantities. You guys have, that's all I've dived into yet, but you have all these other different potential avenues that can help us out on the construction side of things. And I haven't even explored them fully. I just know that the possibilities are numerous. And as we start to learn them, we'll definitely start to use them more.
What's one of the tools that you kind of just, if they took it away today, that you really couldn't live without?
The mapping. The process you guys run with Drone Deploy to give us that map, the panorama, the fly around, the overlaying of the entire site plan onto a Google Earth, and having all of those available in one spot where you can just go and ping, hey, I want to go look at the panorama from over here. I want to go look at the photo from over here. Let me zoom into what we got over in this side of our plot of land, which is where our project is, where it's been overlaid into Google Earth. Like, that feature itself is something I use once a week for pre-construction meetings, for checking where we're at with the site progress. Like, I am in that tool all the time, and I'm probably dispersing something with the information from that tool at least once a week because of how useful it is. That's the one thing I couldn't live without.
Where do you see things going in the next couple of years? So obviously the 360 walkthroughs are a new thing that we're doing as well.
Realistically, from a project manager standpoint, we'll travel to site 2 days max. It would be nice as the 24-year-old to be able to walk around the building for 2 hours and get all the pictures and get all that done and upload it and complete all that. But realistically, I don't have the time to go and do that when I'm out there, because I'm going to be pulled in every other direction, and getting 2 hours to just do that is probably not going to happen. And then at the same time, getting an older super to try to get incorporated with the technology and get him on board and tell him he's got to go do it is probably harder. If those two things don't align, we tend to not take pictures of site multiple times throughout, which is a hindrance to future projects as well. So the new drone deploy and you guys being able to just come out and do it and just have it done the same way every single time, and it just being reliable information is going to be great. I actually just did my first one of those yesterday. I'm excited because it frees up time. Actually is money for us, and freeing up time like that is really good and super beneficial.
What else would you like drones to do? Is there any technology you've been looking at that you're kind of fascinated by, drones or not drone related, that's helping out on the construction site?
I think something that could be huge for us is a full site like topography stuff. So if you can expand into the topography and soil quantities, elevations for surveying for sites, a lot of times construction companies we call it balancing the site.
Yep.
Plus minus of material, expanding that into something that we could actually rely on and go off of when it comes to estimates and whatnot would be a huge tool for us in terms of our larger projects.
So site balancing is something that Drone Deploy does. The tool's already built in. Do you know what ground control points are?
Nope.
So a ground control point, think about it, just an X. If we took 2x4s, put them on the ground and made a big giant red X on the ground, or if we took a Home Depot orange lid, put it on the ground. If you guys got some GPS coordinates for the center of that X or that Drone Deploy lid is sitting on the ground, we can get those GPS coordinates. We can import those into Drone Deploy. If you guys can lay those ground control points down during the earthwork part of this, we can, through Drone Deploy, give you site balancing, cut fill analysis. It's all built into the software. So we can show you on the map where the high points are, the low points are, where earth needs to be moved from. So that's all a tool built into Drone Deploy, and you just need the right drone and ground control points in order to do that. The other thing that Jeff maybe will share with you is drones are becoming a really great tool for facade inspections. When you guys go to put the walls up on the outside of the buildings, we can fly them. We can do a facade inspection, and rather than looking down with the drone camera looking straight down and getting a map that way, the drone looks at the building and it goes up, it crawls the side of the building, goes up, down, over. And we can then give you a facade inspection tool where you can sit from your mouse, from your office in Chicago, and literally go picture by picture across the whole facade of the building and mark issues and points where there are problems to be able to share with the team. So facade inspections is another great tool that's available now. Let me ask you something. So you're young, you're just out of school. What's the obstacles to get the older generation to want to use this, to see the benefits?
The older guys, one, they actually love drones, especially superintendents. Like, that's a target market for people who are going to buy drones in the first place. So they think drones are awesome. I think the issue, though, is more like they want to do things their way, regardless of what's being pushed. So they're like, no, I'm gonna take the pictures my way. I'll take them, I'll save them, whatever, and we'll have them. I don't care. I don't need you to do that. I don't need you to go buy that. I got it. So they're stuck in their ways, but also at the same time, anything, even something as simple as the site walk, getting your superintendent the right equipment, getting him to fire all that equipment up, and then just getting it all incorporated and set up and ready to go is just like, that's a war for a lot of those guys.
But if we take the setup process out of their hands, and we say to them, you're not gonna have to set anything up. We are gonna take care of all that for you. We'll take care of the camera, the connection to the camera. We'll do the walk. All you're gonna have to do is push the button in Drone Deploy to be able to do the walkthrough. And once they see a walk around, they love that, don't they? Once they see a walkthrough.
Oh yeah, they love that, and they use it for, once again, like I said, information. Like, you have one-sided walls up and they're looking at MEPs. If we're building the same building we've built before, which is something that happens in the Topgolf space, that superintendent on a future project is going to go and pull up the one right before it and see what they did. If it is easy, they will do it.